What's up, everybody? This your girl Cece with Where It Begins Magazine, and I got my co-host Theo on the line. Hey, Theo, how are you?
Hey, I'm good, CC. What about you?
I'm good. Happy Wednesday.
Hey, man. Happy Wednesday. Another round of exciting people bringing dope stories to our platform. So happy to be here.
Yes, me too. And I'm excited to do this interview with this next person. But I want to go in and let her introduce herself of who she is, what she does, and where she's from.
There it is.
Hi, everyone. Thank you guys for having me on today. I'm really excited about this interview. My name is Nychol Lyna. I'm from Los Angeles, California, and Las Vegas, Nevada. I go back and forth. I'm the founder of Dream North LLC, which is a strategy consulting company, building people's brands, grant writing, etc. And then I also just established my nonprofit organization, Dream North Foundation, last year, where we produce literary arts events for children in foster care.
Awesome. Well, let's talk a little bit about your journey and how you got started.
Okay, so how I got started. Number one, I've been an entrepreneur. I've been a hustler since I could remember. I was the one making sure that we had a hotel party after our prom, getting everybody to pay for it. So I've been building up brands and, ideas and putting events together for a very long time. So this isn't really anything that's new to me. It's always been something that I enjoyed doing. Of course, making people happy. I've been doing outreach since I was 14 years old with my mother, my aunt, and my grandfather. And then, of course, with my church. So I think that my giving spirit has always kind of been embedded in me by the people around me that I look up to, starting with my family. So I would say in 2015, I moved to Spain. I moved to Spain for 1 year. And during this time, I was celibate. I had just gotten out of a 10-year relationship. And I went there alone. So I went there as I found an au pair situation so I could live and, be able to have those kind of accommodations. But I went there alone to work on an independent research study about women and children exposed to abuse and sex trafficking. So that's kind of, I would say, where it really started, like learning about the world and what, I guess, how fortunate we are in the United States, number one, but just how much of a need that there is. So when I got back in 2016 to California, that's when I established Dream North Entertainment. And the concept of Dream North comes from, looking north, to the North Star, thinking up, thinking forward, always dreaming and believing that you can attain your goals. So basically that's where the Dream North concept came from. And I pretty much began on a journey to, of course, I was writing films and writing books and things of that nature and addressing my own literary or artistic wants and needs and desires. But really my passion was helping organizations and companies, small businesses who also had a purpose, who also had a cause. So most of my clients, and they've ranged from usually predominantly California, Nevada, Texas, but I would work remotely and I would just help them build their brand. So whether it's, putting a business plan, a budget, grant writing, etc., just helping them take their brand to the next level. So that was my purpose from 2016 to 2021. And I still do it from time to time, but now I would say I've completely transitioned into focusing on my nonprofit, Dream North Foundation. Our goal is to uplift at least 1,000 foster and at-risk youth per year. So far, right now, I would say for 2022, we're already pretty much booked up for the year. So we have an event May 21st at the Los Angeles Police Museum. That's going to be our first event for about 100 foster children. We've already been in contact with like the Casa LA, Together We Rise, Bienvenidos, and another agency, Sycamores, we've gotten really close with multiple of their networks. So they're going to be present at our event. We're really excited about this. It's going to be kind of like a carnival, outdoor carnival experience, but the children will also have an opportunity to engage with the police officers. I've had some individuals from my own community who've known me for a very long time. And I don't want to be negative, and please excuse me if this offends anyone, but I'm going to say verbatim what they said to me. So you're messing with the pigs now. And that was their exact word to me. But I grew up in Inglewood, California. I grew up in the hood and, you know, at-risk environments. I've had to persevere and get to where I am, of course, with the support of my mother. She worked very hard to take me out of the public school system and put me in private school system so I could have the best opportunities. But our experiences have not been great with the law enforcement system. I do not like how I feel personally and indirectly that our community has been treated by law enforcement. So when it comes to foster care children, those are the individuals that they see first. They see social services and they see the police officers. So more often than not, they are afraid of the law enforcement, just as most of minority communities are. So we thought that this first event, partnering up with the LAPD and the Los Angeles Police Museum, would be very integral to, you know, starting off, like letting people know who we are and what we're trying to achieve, which is bridging the cultural barrier gaps that, you know, governmental agencies and law enforcement agencies in the communities that they serve, that gap, trying to, you know, have a more unified front, and just allowing our kids to know that they are thought of, they are remembered, they are not forgotten. So that's what this first event is going to be about. And touching on me saying they are not forgotten, I published a book, Forgotten Baby, in December 2020, a children's book about a young girl who grows up in the foster care system. And what I've learned, people will say, who's the book for what ages? And what I've learned is for all ages. I've had grown adults, 30, 40 years old, call me saying I was crying, and they don't even have kids. They read the book on their own, saying that they were crying because they could relate to what that child was feeling, being taken away from her mother, not, coming home and her mother was not there, and her having to go into this foster care system. And that's similarly to what my own daughter, my stepdaughter, she was in the foster care system. She has similar experiences where she was in the foster care on multiple occasions. So that's just something that I think is really close to my heart. There's so many children without families. There's so many children who just don't have what they need and what they deserve so that they can be their best selves. And that's definitely something that I aspire to give back to, not just our African-American community, even though I feel very strongly about our community, but it's for all children. In my events, Storytime with Dream North and Friends, give these children from different agencies, different foster agencies, an opportunity to come to a safe space, to meet one another, to see their different colored faces, but know that we're the same. We're going through the same thing. And just having fun with each other and being able to connect. And that's what I would say Dream North Foundation and Storytime with Dream North and Friends is about, is producing these live and online events and programs so children can really tap into literature, reading, creative writing, which I think are very important components to the child's development. It allows for them to express themselves. It allows for them to gain a trade that can contribute to potentially being a journalist, a reporter. There's so many, author. We also help some of our children become co-authors, published co-authors through our series as well. So that's pretty much, I would say my journey. I feel that there's a lot of components that I probably left out that has contributed to who I am, but I would say those are the main things that I feel have gotten me to this point, which is just knowing what it feels like to feel alone as a child and wanting to do all that I can with the team. I have a team of 5 women throughout the United States, Canada, and the Bahamas, who are all on my page and helping me achieve these goals of producing these events for children in foster care. So
it's a lot to unpack. Let me ask you, Nychol. You struck me when you started off, though. What was the inspiration behind you going to study abroad for a year?
Oh, I want to tell you exactly. So again, like I told you, I was in a 10-year relationship at the time. You could tell that we were drifting apart by this time. And I had always wanted to travel and see the world. I've never really been the one to like, I want to get married and I want to, settle down and have kids. And like, I wanted to see the world. I wanted to make a difference. I wanted to be cultured and learn languages. I'm not fluent, but of course I've dabbled into Spanish, French, and Japanese. Like I've always just been.
Where did you go?
I went to Cadiz, Andalusia in the south of Spain. It's really very similar to, it reminded me of California, actually. Right on the tip where the beach was. So I was really fortunate of where I got to live.
Sounds nice. Why did you choose that area?
Well, it had to do with the au pairs in my living situation. I spoke with multiple families throughout Spain, and it came down to how they made me feel and how I made them feel. And the particular family that I stayed with, both of them were instructors, actually. They were both teachers. So they both spoke English. They were both fluent in English. So I felt like that was ideal. Their children were beautiful. They were young. They were impressionable, where I knew that I could feed into them as well, because I was responsible for teaching them English. So there was multiple factors. The location, because I didn't want to be right in the middle of Spain. That it would take, every time I would want to go to some of the more popular places, it would be harder for me to get there. And then of course it was the family. So the family really is what caught me.
Gotcha. Okay. And what kind of, you kind of said that opened up your eyes to some of the cultural differences. What kind of things comparing to what you found or were used to here? And then how did that translate into your passions once you got back?
I would say number one, they're very family oriented. And mind you, in the United States, or the Hispanic culture, the Latino culture is very family oriented here as well. But there, it's not just, I would say Spain, I would say certain cultures, period, in Europe, they're just very family oriented. It's just so beautiful. Like the children, the grandparents are like 50, 60, 70 years old, still, like when I say taking care of their kids, not sitting at home and like, oh, go over there. They're taking them to the park. They're going to every event. They're very integral and keeping their family together and keeping that love there. And when I say, because they have this, have you heard of siesta? It's like their nap time. So at siesta, after you wake up from siesta, a full meal every time, a beautiful, it's just I would say just the culture and that togetherness, it's just a different concept there. And then in addition, the thing that really hurt me or got me was when it came to sex trafficking and abuse of children. They didn't have the same laws that protects their children. I don't know if that has changed since now. It's now been more than 5 years. But at the time, basically their concept was the child is able to say, I want to go with that person. So that person would not be held liable because the child can say yes or no. Wow. And that's just not how it works. That's just not how it works. That's just not how it should work. So that was one of the things that really got me. So that is why I incorporated into my own program that we partner with a different country every year. So this year we're going to partner with the Bahamas. Next year we're working on London, and then of course Spain is on the schedule, hopefully. So yeah.
Awesome. But I also want to say congrats because you're getting married, right?
Yes. I actually did my dress yesterday, so I should have it in my hands in June. I got my measurements and everything. It's pretty exciting, but at the same time, a lot of people ask me, "Are you happy? Are you?" And the truth is that I keep thinking about why my wedding. I'm getting married in the Bahamas. I'm getting married in August in the Bahamas, and we've been engaged for 3 years. And when I tell you that I didn't grow up with the best portrayals, experiences as it pertains to what marriage should look like, what it should mean. So that wasn't always my priority to sign this paperwork, to bind myself to someone when I've seen loving relationships turn into something else, whether it's divorce or just clear misunderstanding, you know, like just all of those years together and drifting apart and etc. It's really a very scary concept. And I'm not the type of person, I don't want to get divorced. I don't want to go through the tumultuous, hurtful, you know, I just don't want to go through all those things. And I think that I, for a very long time, had a strong stigma, especially in the Black community, about marriage. And it took me now 3 years to finally start planning my wedding, which is now all I'm going through with it now. It's all locked in. We're going to get married at Atlantis, which is a beautiful, magical place in Nassau, Bahamas. But we didn't plan to get married there. I was going there for my nonprofit. So there's 9 children's homes in Nassau or in the Bahamas that we are going there for to donate to. So I'm shipping all of their donations out there. We're going to have like a packing day, and then I'm going to deliver them to the children's homes and do a book reading and etc. at the children's homes. And I was like, well, we're going to the Bahamas. Let's just get married. So that's really honestly how it all began, of why we're getting married there. So I say all that to say that you were really excited about saying congratulations about me getting married. It really is the opportunity to share my family and my love, our love, with these children who don't know the norm of family, of, you know what I mean? So that is the most important thing to me. Yes, I get to be with my best friend, and that's amazing. And he gets to go with me and do all of this with me. But it really is about the opportunity to put yourself aside and your wants and your needs, and to share that with those who don't have it. So.
Wow. It's inspirational.
Thank you.
It definitely was. And then in the Bahamas, as far as the nonprofit, what else do you have coming up for this year? What are some of your other goals and accomplishments you want to, get this year for 2022?
So like I said, we are serving 1,000 kids per year. So I want to say about 3 or 4 more events this year, one in Oregon, another one in California in Palmdale with another foster agency, one in Las Vegas. I just got a partnership with the library district in Nevada. And then we're working on another one in Los Angeles, hopefully in November, with Barnes & Noble. So we're working on a few things. So I would say 4 more events. And then we're also designing our online program where children around, from whatever countries that we are partnered with, they'll be able to log on and participate in book reading and creative writing workshops year round. So those are my main goals as it pertains to the organization, to maintain that consistent interaction with at least 1,000 foster children per year, and to keep expanding on that as we grow.
Gotcha. Hey, let me ask you a question, Nychol. It sounds like one of the common things I hear running through what has enabled you to do what you do. You have to probably be a good person at networking, I would guess. But we do like our guests to come on and drop some jewels for those who want to be in that same path. So to get connected with all these different organizations and do the things that you do, those other aspiring companies, nonprofits or for-profit or what have you, who want to do good and who want to touch those that are underserved, what's the one biggest jewel you would drop on them?
I would say doing your research. I think sometimes we can get very excited. I think when you are an entrepreneur or an artist, I think we have a collective trait of being sometimes impulsive, impatient. It's easy to get discouraged when you are in this realm. So I would say, like, having that 1 year, 2 year, 3 year plan. That's one of the biggest things. Write your goals down. Write what's priority. Put them in order of priority on your plan. Just have a plan. I think lists are really supportive for individuals like us, so we can visualize instead of having all of these thoughts in our head. but also, again, like I said, the research. Don't think the first person you talk to is the person you're supposed to work with or the route that you're supposed to go. Get several options, have a backup plan. So I would say those are the things that have really helped me and to stay focused, stay grounded, and to continue progressing positively.
Okay. So research, organization, and have a backup plan.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Well, let us know if there's anything that we can do too, and helping the nonprofit and giving back also, because me and Theo, we love giving back and volunteering and doing stuff for the community. So anything that we can do, please let us know. And you know, I'm a big supporter, so.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
Hey, drop your social media or website, or what do you want to put out to the people to get in contact with you?
Dream North, Dream, DREAMNORTH Foundation.org. And my Instagram is the same, Dream North Foundation. And my personal Instagram is Dream North LLC.
Gotcha.
Awesome. Well, we like to go and do our fun fact game that I let you know about. We both have one question apiece. Theo, you want to start off, or you want me to start?
Sure, I'll start. So Nychol, it can't be related to what you do for your occupation. Okay, so let's start there. But you get to go anywhere in the world and do anything. What's the first thing you're doing, and where you going?
I've always said I wanted to go to Japan. It's something about, you know, their culture. I feel like they're very regal, like really experiencing their culture. The first thing that came to mind was something with food. I just love food. That's like my favorite thing to do. That's my problem. So I don't know exactly what that would be, if that would be being a part of a restaurant, and actually, because that's always been a dream of mine, but I'm kind of afraid of it. Or just simply being able to go food taste and just go eat and document it and let that be my job. But yeah.
That'd be dope. A food documentary in Japan.
Okay. All right, so for mine, I'm gonna say if you could pick 3 people to tell your life, who would be the 3 people, and what is one thing they would tell us about you?
So personal. Of course, I would start with my mother. Some might say like that's an obvious choice, you know, it's your mom. But me and my mom have not always had the best understanding as it pertains to my choices in work. My mom is very conservative. She's been working the same job for, 30, 40 years. She's about to retire in a couple of months. She's put in her work, and I'm the risk taker, more unconventional and outside of the box. So for her to see where I am now, and I think she's starting to get it, I would love for her to just say the things that irritated her about me and the things that she's proud of. So I would say my mom. I would say collectively my fiance and my daughter. They've been in my lives for 6 years, about 6 years now. And I think the opportunity to grow, because we didn't have what we have now. We're very fortunate. We just purchased our first home last year. We're going to get married in the Bahamas. That's really, we're really fortunate. And we didn't have that at the beginning 6 years ago. And just to look at our pictures from then and from now, I would love for people to share just like that bond, how it wasn't easy establishing that bond, strengthening that bond, because my daughter lost her entire maternal family. She lost all of her siblings. She lost her mother, and she was stuck with me. She was forced to be with me in a way. So I would say them collectively. And then when we talk about, honestly, there's a few people in mind, but it would be one of my friends / family / colleagues. I feel I'm really fortunate by the women who've been in my life. I feel whether or not they always understood or always were on board, I feel they knew I was capable of anything and meant for greatness. And I feel that they would encourage me, whether it's showing up to my next event and volunteering the entire day, or allowing me to use them as a reference, or picking up something for me when I couldn't go pick it up. I just feel I always had a solid group of women, ranging from aunts to friends, to business colleagues, who, when I need something, I can call them. And that's just a very beautiful thing. So it's a few of them, and I can't give you one name because I have so many. It's a few of them in my head.
Gotcha.
Okay. Well, I definitely want to say thanks for interviewing with us today. It's been a pleasure to get to talk to you and listen to your journey. Again, congratulations on your wedding that's coming up and your event and giving back to the families. You know, I think we all need to do something like that in our community. So that's definitely a blessing. And I wish that this event be the best event, you know, that you have. And Atlantis is really, really nice. I've been there in the Bahamas, so I know it'll be a beautiful wedding. I can't wait to see the pictures. Definitely.
Thank you.
Congrats one more time, and definitely, you know, we wish you much success and for the rest of 2022. There's, like CC said, if there's anything we can do to assist, definitely let us know. But one more time, shout out your social media.
Dream North LLC on Instagram and Dream North Foundation.
All right.
And there y'all have it. Y'all make sure to go check her out because she's doing a lot in the community. Well, you have a blessed day. Have a happy Wednesday, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thank you, guys. Have a nice day.
You too.
All right, you too.